All right, Diane, and everybody else. So here we go. So rational expressions is basically a polynomial divided by a polynomial. And please, Diane, ask questions
Okay.
if something doesn't make sense. So some examples would be like x plus 3 over x minus 4. And we're going to start out with dividing by 0. And so if I have an expression like this, if x equals 5, we're going to have a problem. Do you see I get 1 over 5 minus 5, and we get 1 over 0?
Oh, yeah.
Which is bad.
Mm-hmm.
So what we would say is that x equals 5 is not in the domain.
And if there's ever a number like that ever comes up, or a number like that, or a problem like that would never come up.
Well, you'll get a problem like this where it'll say, where's the bad place? Like where are we dividing by 0? And so what you'll say is x equals 5 in this case.
All right.
I'll do another one. So if I have this expression here, do you see that when x equals negative 3, we have a problem? Negative 3 plus 3. So this is the bad place. Meaning we can plug in an x value here, any value for x in the whole world, every number that you can think of except for negative 3. Then we have a problem.
Okay.
Now it gets more complicated. Of course it does.
Yeah.
So if I have 2x plus 3, then it's not as obvious. Like this one was kind of obvious, the 5 minus 5 or the negative 3 plus 3. It's fairly obvious. So what we can do to kind of hammer this down a little bit smoother is we can say 2x plus 3, and we can set it equal to 0. Because we want to know where the denominator equals 0.
Okay.
So where's the bad place? The bad place is at negative 3 halves.
Okay.
So basically what you're going to want to do is just set the denominator equal to 0 as you're looking at this.
All right.
We could even get a little crazier. So we have a polynomial like this. I'm glad you made it, Diane.
Yeah, of course.
So what we did, like we did up here, is we're going to set the denominator equal to 0. Which in this case, this is from the chapter that you just finished. This is where you have to factor it.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, we're going to end up with 2 bad places. So you can still see me?
Yeah.
With the windows in the back and the camera and the space? Great. Nothing but professional here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so there are 2 bad places in this, and the graphs of these are insane. That's outside. We're not going to have to graph these in this class, but they get really crazy. So next up is a rule, and what we're going to do is we're going to simplify. And the rule actually is something that you already know. And if I ever get out of screen, please say something.
Okay.
And all the pressure's on you, Diane. You have to ask all the questions that you think other students might be asking as well, so that when they see this recording.
Okay.
So can you see that when I'm multiplying, I can reduce things out? But it's only when you're multiplying. If you're adding and subtracting between, that doesn't count. It doesn't work that way. All right, I'm going to flip my page over to do this. So give me a second. Ooh, there's a lot of bleed through there. So let's simplify. And you see, because I'm multiplying, that rule applies. And I can actually reduce out the x plus 2's. I did a different video before, and I went too fast, so I'm gonna try to be patient. Are you copying stuff down, or what's your MO here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have my notebook here. I'm taking notes.
Okay. Now, in case anyone's curious, x can't be 7 or negative 2 in this case. Even though the x plus 2 is reduced out, the x still can't be negative 2. Now, Diane, you'll notice that these are already factored for us, which, of course, is never going to happen again.
Okay.
We're going to have to factor these ourselves. Let's just do this. And Diane, if I'm going too fast or something, you just say the word, okay?
All right. Thank you.
So the numerator is the difference of squares. And the denominator just factors. This is what you learned last week.
Stop. Oops.
Diane, how did you find the videos for the other guy in the video? Did you watch the videos? Did you use it? What did you do?
My open math?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went into the homework assignment, in most of the each question, they had a little video, so I would watch the video first, or try to do the problem if I was familiar with it.
Sure.
But yeah, there was some videos there.
Okay.
And then, or there was a little note that we already we took notes before in class, before the situation happened.
Okay.
And it was just there in yellow, bright yellow.
Okay, and did you find the videos like easy to follow? I'm trying to gather opinions about the guy. Okay, good.
I found them very useful.
Oh, good. Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that. And I hope that that's other people's experience as well. Do you see what I did there where I had to factor and then reduce?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, Diane, tell me about your household. Do you have, like, kids or family or...
I live with my parents.
Okay.
I have 2 siblings, and then I have 2 dogs. So you hear them barking, I'm sorry.
2 dogs? No, that's fine.
Yeah.
What are your dogs' names?
One is also, which is bear.
Oh, sure. Also.
And the other is Sticks.
Sticks? I didn't hear the second name. What was it? I lost you, Diane. I can't hear you.
No. Also and bear.
Ben?
Sorry.
It's okay. Well, you can touch. She can.
It's okay. Yeah, it's not important. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
Sorry.
It's really not
My wife is laughing at me.
It's really important. Well, she can chat. She
Yeah.
can type. It's not important.
Yeah. Post it on the discussion board. It's all good. So, how are we feeling about the simplified? We get the idea. You have to factor and then reduce.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. I got it.
Okay. So let's move on to multiply and divide.
It's kind of going off the screen.
Ah, it sure is. Thank you. Thank you for saying something. These are reciprocals here. And I'm just going to go through a series of questions that have to do with this. You're getting my shotgun version of this lecture. Let me know when you're done copying this down, Diane.
I'm done.
Okay, so let's do an example. I have a feeling the Zoom website is very overloaded at this point.
Yeah, I feel like it.
Let me know when you're done copying it down.
I'm done.
Okay. So with the multiply rule that we see up here, I'm just going to multiply straight across. And then what we have to do is factor each of these. And when we factor, in this case, it's just greatest common factor. So here I factored out to 6. And you can see we get quite a bit factored. It's going to reduce out here. I got different colored pens. I am ready. It looks to me like this whole thing reduces down to a 3 over 7. I'm glad it's hard to see me.
I have a question.
Please.
Before that is before the parentheses, the x plus 4.
Yes,
No,
x plus
to your right.
to the right. Yes.
That one, the one next to it.
Yep.
And that one. In front of it, is that 2?
That's a 2. What I did here was I factored out a 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you think my handwriting's bad on a whiteboard. Now you get to see what it's like on paper. Let me know when you're done copying that down.
Someone joined.
Oscar Sandoval. You guys have the same last name. Oscar.
Yep.
What's up, bro?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good. How's your family? You guys safe?
Yeah, we're all good here.
Good. Glad to hear it.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Can you tell me what you see?
Uh,
You see some math in my hand?
yeah, math and letters.
Math and do you see my hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you see my face?
Yeah, I see your face.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad you're here. I am recording this, and I do plan on posting it at some point for the part that you missed.
Okay, cool. That'll be perfect.
Yeah. So far, if I could quickly review, we've learned how to simplify using various rules. We learned how to make sure we're not dividing by 0. And then we learned our simplify rule here.
Okay.
And now we're multiplying and dividing. So we're going to do a division problem next. Diane, did you finish copying that down?
Yeah, I finished.
Okay, great. So I want to do this next problem. This is going to be a little bit more realistic, I guess. So here we have a division problem. Let me know when you guys finish copying that down.
No, my love.
Is that your little girl?
Yeah.
There she is. Hi, sweetie. What's her name?
Tahira? Yeah, put your shoes on, love.
So if we look at the rule here for division, I have to flip that second fraction. Only that second fraction.
There we go.
Can you? Oh, okay. Never mind.
Good mice.
So I'm going to go ahead and factor the numerator. And the denominator. And you can see a lot of stuff is going to reduce. Are those colors coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I need their feedback. Any questions on that I can help out with? Well, Scott, how you doing, man?
Oh, good. Yeah.
So you can see
I'm already.
you have to know how to factor pretty effectively.
Yeah. I'm on. Forgot what that lesson is, but I'm already past the poly thing. I'm on like the 5, I believe, for quiz 5. But I'm on like the last homework.
Oh, so you're ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is all old hat to you. How you doing, Diane? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to move on to, because we have a limited time. I have another one of these I have to do in just about an hour. So I want to kind of get the basics that I can get out. So I want to do the adding and subtracting. This is where it gets really crazy. And you'll note, of course, we need a common denominator.
Especially your recording, you have to post it. You should be respect every other student. And they should know you are there recording. You have to get the permission to the human post it. That's the exactly law said. Everybody said that.
Yeah.
So I need everybody to understand that I'm recording this. We're okay with that?
Yeah.
Well, Scott, I can see your face. I'm happy to look at your beautiful face, but if you wanted to mute the video, you could if you wanted to, but it's totally your call.
Okay.
So when we move on to adding and subtracting, we need the common denominator, and I want to do. Give me a second. Let's see. So we'll try this. Not yet. That was too hard. So we'll start with this example. And you'll notice we already have a common denominator. The a plus 1.
3 over a plus 1.
I want to caution you guys with the minus here. That often means you have to distribute a negative. It doesn't in this case, but it will often mean that. Let me know when you guys are done copying that down.
Okay.
Dan, you're good? How about you, Scott?
Good.
Okay. So this next one's going to be a little tricky. How old's your girl, Oscar?
She's about to be 3 next on May.
Ah. me a second to finish copying that down. Now I want to caution you with these negatives here. This means I have to distribute to both. Please note both signs changed.
Nice.
Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Good job.
Can you put the notebook a little bit higher?
Yes, I can. Thank you for saying so.
Mm-hmm.
So again, be careful with these negatives here. That's really where people can mess that up. All right. So another example here would be that's an X. Again, you'll notice that we already have a common denominator. And now we have to try to reduce it. Let me know when you guys are done copying that down.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. I want to show you how to find an LCD, or at least common denominator. So let's say we have something like this, and we want to find an LCD. This is a trick someone taught me a long time ago. I make kind of this upside down box. And I put the two denominators in there. And I ask the question, what do they have in common? Y'all see there's a 3 in common?
Yeah.
And what's left is a 2 and a 5. So the LCD is 3 times 2 times 5. Which is 30 in this case. So it's the outside.
Okay.
Yeah, fancy little trick I picked up at one point. So we can even make this... let's do this one. X. I'm hearing Spanish at your house, Oscar.
Yeah, my daughter speaks Spanish.
Good for her. Now here's where it gets tricky. It looks like they have an x in common, but they don't. Because it's x plus 3, what they have in common is nothing. They have a 1 in common. So that's a little tricky there. Now, if this was x times x plus 3, then they would have it. It's got to be multiplied. You see that's 2 times 3 there? That's
Yeah.
5 times 3. So because it's multiplied, we can factor it out. But here they have nothing in common. So a little bit tricky there. Let's see if I can fit one more here. Actually, the parentheses aren't necessary there.
Hey, Professor, if I have a problem with a certain equation that I need, not equation, but a certain problem that
Sure.
I need help with, whenever
Uh-huh.
you get done with this lesson, you think you could do it real quick?
Absolutely. No, for sure. In fact, I'll do that next. That'll be the next thing that I do. So in this case, I need to factor these denominators. And it's looking like they have an x plus 3 in common. So no matter how big it gets, we can still do it.
Is
mean-
that 7x plus 12?
Plus 12, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry about that.
it's okay.
Let me know when you're done copying. I miss you guys.
I know, I want to go back to class. So
I know.
bad.
I've never wanted to go back to
Same.
work more in my life, yeah.
It feels better to go on campus, like seeing person to person, than being online.
Yeah, us apes, we're like social creatures, man. We need the companionship. We done copying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on. All right, so what if we don't have a common denominator and we want to add or subtract? That's what we're going to do next. You guys can see that fine. Okay, so 5. Well, first we'll find our LCD. Do you guys see how I'm applying that? So I need to make both of these denominators this. 6y to the third.
Okay.
Now, what's missing here is a y. Do you see comparing these two? This is a y squared, this is y to the third.
Right.
So I have to multiply a y over a y here. And on this side, I'm missing, from here to here, I'm missing a 2. Oscar, I want to make sure we have enough time to get your problem. Diane, did Diane or Oscar, did you have any questions about this one?
No. I got that one.
Diane, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Okay. So, Oscar, go ahead. What was your question?
So I have this problem. It says divide and simplify, and it's x squared minus 3x minus 4
Okay.
over x squared minus 4
Okay.
divided by x plus 1.
Hang on. Can you see how I'm writing this? So, the whole thing is divided by?
Yeah, that whole thing is divided by
Okay.
x plus 1 over x minus 2.
Okay, hang on. So, this part down here is what again?
X minus 2?
Okay. So, does this look right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly it.
So this is what's called a complex fraction. I was going to get to that in another lecture, but this is fine. What's going to happen is I'm going to end up with x squared minus 3x minus 4 over x squared minus 4. And can you see that's divided by x plus 1 over x minus 2? Right, that divided by that basically is what I'm doing.
Good.
Which means this flips. This becomes the reciprocal.
Okay.
So now I'm going to factor both of those and then multiply. So up top I get x minus 4, x plus 1 times x minus 2. And here this factors to that.
Okay.
And now I'm going to reduce.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Now, on some of these complex fractions, you're going to get even more funky ones. I'll probably have to save that for another lesson. But when it's just a fraction over a fraction like that, you can do that divide and then just flip the reciprocal trick.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
All right. Did you have another question? A specific question, Oscar?
No, that was the only one that I was having trouble doing.
Okay. Do you guys know how to use the in the discussion board how to use the equation editor?
No.
Oh.
There's
Kinda.
a button at the top that has that. And if you push that button when you're in a discussion, it'll bring up all the different symbols and stuff like that, and you can actually write it out. That's how I write it out for you guys, like in the discussion board answers and stuff. But it makes it easier than having to do the, x squared looks like that instead of x squared. So this button will help you do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact, Oscar, I would love for you to pose that question in the discussion board, just to see what other people do, now that you know how to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Just-
I'll put it on there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Let's go back to the adding and subtracting. Move that up. So here we have our problem, and again, I want to emphasize these two have nothing in common. I know they look exactly like they do have something in common. There's a 5 and an x in both, but the two are actually independent of one another. And you can actually see from here to here, what's missing is the x minus 5. And what's missing here is the 5x.
You multiply the x minus 5 and then the 5x, right?
Correct. So over here we have the x minus 5 because that's what's missing from here to here. And then here what's missing is the 5x.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so whatever's missing is what you do there.
All right.
Now we're going to try to combine stuff up. 2x minus 10 plus 15x. Please ask questions if that doesn't make sense. And I'm going to do one more here. This one's going to be quite messy. You know me, I always want to ramp it up. Let me know when you guys are done copying that down.
I'm done.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. So like me,
You're
I
gonna
would...
need a lot of notebooks.
What's that?
You're going to need a lot of notebooks.
For this problem, this is going to take up quite a bit of space here, yeah. So for our last example here. So here's our base problem. Understand this is about a week and a half worth of lecture that I'm cramming into an hour and a half. And if you need more instruction or something doesn't make sense, please ask. I'm more than happy to produce whatever you guys need. And I appreciate you guys logging in.
Yeah, I was in my speech class until 9:30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can always join late. It's never an issue. I had so many technical problems at the beginning here. Poor Diane, she had to wait like an extra, what was it, 25 minutes before we even got started?
About. Maybe less, but it's okay.
You're very kind. I think it was more, but... So first thing we need to do is factor this.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Probably a 7 here. They give you 14. No, a 2 here. And a 7. Let's see. That's going to give us 4. And yep, there it is. That's perfect. That's 6 and 7 is 13. There we go. So we're going to look for our LCD. See if I can fit this here. And we can pull out a 2x plus 7. to get our LCD using the technique that I showed you before. I want to make sure that's clear. Do you guys see what I did?
Yeah.
How about you, Diane? I'll give you a minute.
Okay.
How you doing, Diane?
She gone?
I see her name still. Diane, are you there? I just want to make sure that you're still...
Sorry.
That's okay.
What's that under the LCD?
That's 2x plus 7. Sorry, I didn't leave enough room to write this. So I pulled the 2x plus 7 out. They had that in common. You can see they have that in common here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just my terrible handwriting. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
So I now need to turn these two denominators into this. So we're going to get... What's missing from here is the x plus 3. Do you see it?
Yeah, X plus 3.
Yeah.
X plus 2.
I'm hearing abuela. Is that your grandmother?
Yeah. You can hear from that. This one downstairs. I didn't know you could hear from the.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I hear the sweet little voice. It's all good. I'm impressed I could interpret the Spanish.
That's actually really good.
And what's
I mean,
missing?
you spoke a lot in class, so.
Oh, I got to keep up to date, man. It's otherwise you lose it. So, do you see I'm missing the x plus 2 here? That's what's missing from here to here is the x plus 2.
Yeah. So.
Now, I want to really caution you guys. Do you see the minus here? That
Yeah.
means I have to distribute that -1 to both of these. So I'm going to write it out accordingly. So this is 3 times x plus 3 minus 1 times x plus 2. And up top here, I'm going to have to distribute a 3 and a -1. So again, be careful distributing that negative. When I combine up my like terms, I get here.
Oh, hopefully I'm right.
What's that?
So hopefully I'm right.
I hope you're right too. And you'll notice that 2x plus 7 are gone.
Yeah.
Good job, Oscar.
That's useless.
And
I
make
love
sure
my
you
brain.
leave the one on top. That's going to be important. Or whatever's left on top, you leave on top. All right. How we doing? Was that helpful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. I'm going to go ahead and close the session now, unless you have a specific question, like Oscar did, or Diane. Do you guys have a specific question I can help answer?
I have one
No.
more.
Okay, let's do it.
It says solve for x, and it says 8 over x minus 4
Okay.
minus 4 over x plus 8
Okay.
equals 1.
Oh, just one?
Yeah, just one.
Okay. So in this case, we have to identify the LCD, which is x minus 4 times x plus 8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation through by the LCD.
Even the one?
Even the 1. Right, so like when you have a regular equation, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do the other, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's that whole idea. So this next line. And the whole point is that these are now going to reduce.
Oh, they cancel. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little trick that when I taught high school, they call it the fraction buster. Kind of a lame name, but you get the idea. Now, a couple of places where we could mess this up. Make sure that you're only reducing what gets reduced. That minus 4 is going to get distributed as a negative. It's easy to miss that. Here I'm going to distribute an 8, and over here, I'm going to FOIL it. Push that up a little bit. Ooh, a little too high. There we go. Be careful you distribute the negative 4 to both. It becomes plus 16. And it looks like we're going to end up with a quadratic here. Let me stop there for a second. Does that make sense so far, Oscar?
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Got it.
Okay, so what I need to do now, because I have a quadratic, is I need to get the whole thing equal to 0. I'm going to move these this way.
Okay.
I like keeping the x squared positive. Ooh, what is that? That is 112? God. Is that right? I need a calculator. 32 plus 80. I'm not digging this. Oscar, is this from the current module or is this from a more advanced module?
It's from rational equations. From, I think, it's from.
Did I copy down your problem correctly?
Let me see one more time. Give me a second. Here we go. 8 over x minus 4 minus 4 over x plus 8. Yeah, equals 1. Yeah, that's exact. It's 1.
Okay, I'm not seeing any mistakes here.
Yeah, it says the answer should be x equals plus or minus something.
Right. This is getting us an irrational number. Do you have the answer?
No, I don't.
Because this
I didn't even try it once because I don't even know what the hell to do.
it's getting this. Sweetie, can you look at this? So let me get the big guns over here. Because this is something that's taught in the following module that I'm just a little concerned that you have a problem like this. So this is the question here. I don't think you guys have met my wife, but this is her.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah, whenever I'm not sure, she's my back of the book.
X was
Does it say to round it off or something, Oscar?
Honestly, I don't even know. I
Wait
mean, I don't know. Can I flip the camera on this? Let me see if I can flip the camera. Yes.
I can barely hear. See, I see a cool car in the back.
Here, give me a second.
No, so just can you tell me which problem it is in my open math?
Is it my open math?
Yeah, it's on homework, rational equations, question 6.
It's my open math.
Give us a second to look that up.
My open
Yeah, open
Yeah,
math.
it's under the course
And you're in
rational expressions and equations, chapter 7.
You're in 130 or 140?
140.
Which class?
I'm on
Math
both.
130 or Math 140? Yeah, because both classes are in right now.
Okay.
140. The one that I'm there like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, okay, that's the
Every day.
Math 140.
Math 140?
Yeah.
4.
And you said rational equations, and then problem 6. You said?
Rational equation?
Yeah. So,
Yeah, rational equations, problem 6.
here, it's thinking. No, it just
No, here.
it's here.
Rational equation.
It's still
Oh,
fetching
right.
the data. So just give it a second.
Oh, shoot.
Of course, our internet is having issues right now.
It's okay.
Probably because I'm using it with you guys.
I don't know if you can see it there.
Can you see?
Yeah, that looks like it. That's what I have written.
Oh, fetching data.
We're having more technical issues. Anyway, this is
But that's the answer.
this is the answer. It's just again, this is outside the scope of this particular section. Yeah,
Sorry,
let me see if I can pull it up over here.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry, I hate you guys watching technical issues here.
No, it's fine.
Too much going on.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I think I gotta please undo stuff. Yeah, mine is fetching. I don't understand why. It's just
Yeah, our internet's just flipping out right now. I think our internet's completely devoted to you guys right now. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close the session. This is the answer to the question that you've asked me.
Okay.
Um,
So, can you tell? So, we will double check the questions. What's the section number again?
no, it's rational equations, problem number 6. You said.
Rational equation problem number 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
can you
number
write it?
6.
Then if we see something wrong, we will post a discussion board.
Yeah, we'll post it on the discussion board if there's an issue.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, in fact, go ahead and post that on the discussion board as well. Let's see what that generates.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll put it on right now then.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close the session out. Thank you very much. You guys rock.
Muchas gracias.
All right. De nada. Take it easy, guys. See you, Diane.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.